Hey guys, to another video. Today we wanted to just kind of talk about what we're doing, what we have going on, and kind of where we're going to try to go, because there have been some changes, as you guys know, with PSA raising theirs. And to be honest, we're trying to figure out where we're going to go. So tell me a little. We were just talking about having a tough time finding products. So what are you doing? Like what's your strategy at this point?
So for now, that's kind of it's a little bit shifting up in the air. It's weird to say, but it's kind of easier to find like the Pokemon product down here than it is to find the actual trading cards and the sports card product down here. Because I'm like I said, I'm going Walmart, Target almost every day, and there's still nothing on the shelves at all when it comes to baseball, football, basketball is not even in the question. There's nothing on the shelves down here.
I find basketball or football at all. I work right next to a Target. So on my way into work my boss doesn't care if I'm a few minutes late. So I'm hitting up Target daily. And the one day I got there late, they sold out of all the Pokemon as I walked in. And so I was actually hoping to get a couple Pokemon boxes. I was going to try to trade you at some point, hook you up, because I know you do like the product. But at this point, genuinely, I think other than Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh, I think we should buy anything we see. And I highly suggest you guys out there, if you're watching this, if you see something, buy it, because worst case, you can sell it to someone else or trade it for something you want. It's just so hard for product. It's better to grab what you can.
Yeah, and I'm sitting on a few football products that I know that you and Brett and the guys will like this summer when I bring those up. So I'm sitting on those, and
For
those
sure.
will be fun to break once when we get the break situation figured out. Everyone, all the viewers, will be able to have fun with us. Probably what's thinking early this summer. I'm thinking.
Sounds good to me, for sure. Yeah, Brett, one of our buddies, is gonna hook us up with a Prism hobby box of football 2020. So we're gonna crack that open, and we'll be selling those on eBay more than likely. Have you been buying any cards on the side or doing anything like that?
I've got a few singles that I picked up. I bought a few cards. A few guys have sold me some stuff in bulk that I've turned around. They weren't really. It was probably a bad purchase on my part. They weren't the best kind of. They weren't in the best condition, but I mean, pictures don't do things justice. I had to see it in person. I didn't blow the bank on it, so I wasn't that upset. Oh, what is
Right.
this little guy you got here?
Well, I kind of went nuts a couple days ago, and I went out and bought some guys that I think have a big upside going into 2021. And these Sam Darnolds are selling really, really cheap, like super cheap. And I don't know, like Gacy's maybe the worst coach in the NFL, probably. So if he can get out from underneath Gacy, whether it be to still be the number one with the Jets, or if the Jets decide to move on and he gets a shot somewhere else, I think these cards shoot up. I could definitely see a Tannehill situation. And to be honest, if it doesn't happen, I bought these for cheap.
I'm assuming they're in 10 gem mint 10 condition.
So these are actually nines. The
Oh,
other
okay.
thing that's really interesting is the nines lag really far behind the tens, but it makes them more attainable for the general public. So for that card right there, I got them for about 100.
Yeah.
So if I can sell them for 100 each, if he starts playing well, has a couple decent games, easy peasy. And then this Herbert right here is also a 9. Like I said, I've been targeting 9s because this thing in a 9 I picked up for, I think, 200, right around 200. In a 10 it sells for like 6-7, right around 600-700. So this card will easily, if the 10's up to like 1,000 start of the season, he's playing well, this will easily double the money. It's a lot harder to double the money when those 10s are so expensive to start with. I accidentally found this, a Dwight Gooden. It is PGA or PSA 10. You could tell by the label it's very old. It's been around for a while, but
yeah.
But I picked this up, and I picked up an autographed Dwight Gooden card as well. I think I paid like $15 or something silly. And I know as all the other cards continue to go up in value, I mean, he was a great player. That's also going to go up in value. This one I may have overpaid for, but I also got 4 Joe Burrow grade as well. So I paid about maybe 325, and this will sell for 325 if he comes back. I'll break out of this one, and then I'll have the cards free and clear. But this is another PSA 10.
What do the raw cards look like?
They look sharp. I think at least 9s. To be honest, PSA is kind of tough sometimes. So, but may send those to HGA. So I'm going to put together an order and make a video about that and kind of talk about the experience, because I don't know what you know about GA, but they only accept a certain number of cards per week, and that's so that they can keep up with
demand,
what they're trying to do. Yeah. So if they don't do that, they get loaded like PSA. So a lot of people are complaining about PSA, saying they're going to go to HGA, but here's the thing: if you can't get your cards in, you can't get your cards in, right? Like, I would rather send them to PSA and have them sit there than never get them into HGA, because you just never get to the front of the queue.
Yeah. Do you think that changes kind of where people send cards to get graded at this point? Like, do you think people turn to Beckett more, or like you said, HGA, CGC? Like, do you think they kind of PSA loses market cap because of this, or do you think they're fine?
I think they're going to lose some market, but I also think that they'll be fine in the long term. So I'll just kind of show this here. Let's see if you guys can see that. So what this says is, dear PSA customer, the tidal wave of submission to PSA has turned out to be a tsunami of submissions coming ashore at our local. They're trying to be funny. I'm not sure. So anyway, long story short, people have been getting messages saying that it was placed, but it's not. PSA actually is going down and picking them up. And so it may look like they're just stuck at a post office near PSA, but it's because PSA physically went and picked them up.
I was reading that. I got
they're trying to get
earlier,
people,
and I was very confused on what was happening with that.
Yeah. Do you have some cards in currently?
Yeah, I just didn't know what, like, I don't know what this. I'm so close to it. So I don't know what the situation was like, even dropping it off there.
Yeah, I don't know if you can drop them off or not, but anyway, this is a card I've had for a long time, so I thought I'd show it off. It's my Topps Pristine Carmelo Anthony PSA 10. I've had like 15 years, but I picked these up because the one trend that I've missed that's happening. You see who that is? Your boy Charles Woods.
I was gonna say the Heisman.
So I picked up a bunch of Charles Woodsons, because as these guys go into the Hall of Fame, which I'm fairly certain he's already in, I picked up all 4 of these for 100. But collectors are going back and going after Hall of Famers. And so once his cards shoot up a little bit, which maybe years, but it's $100 I put into 4 cards, I feel like I'm never losing. Just never losing on $100.
Him and Peyton Manning as first ballot guys. It's kind of hard to go wrong with that.
Yeah, no, I think it's a huge win long term. Just got to let football get into where it's popular. So with the Aaron Jones, I picked a couple Aaron Jones. Again, PSA 9s, not super concerned about 10s. But I picked up all 3 of those for very inexpensive. I don't have the cost in front of me right this second, but I got a smoking deal.
How high are you on running backs? Because I was at my local card shop the other week, and I picked up a Josh Jacobs rookie for $6, and it was a steal. But I didn't, like, people are sometimes high on running backs. I just picked it up just because it was a steal to get it that low.
Here's the thing with running backs. I do not think they're super collectible long term. I think only your like Adrian Petersons and some of the LaDainian Tomlinson guys are going to be the ones who really hit that top end value and kind of go off. The big thing is, so you're looking at a Kyler Murray here, PSA 10, another one I picked up for around 100. Like, they're just going so inexpensive. But with them getting extra help, I don't see how the Cardinals don't have a really solid season. But a lot of guys focus on quarterbacks because a quarterback is far more likely to hit $10,000 or $15,000 for a card. Yeah. But as investors, we don't need to make 1,000% on a card, right? If I can consistently double my money, that's as good as anything. So if you go out and you buy the card that you got, the Josh Jacobs, for, I think you said $6.
Yeah, $6.
You send it in for 25, you're now in at 31, and you can find somebody to buy it for 60, 70 bucks. It doesn't matter. No, not really. Right. You just doubled your money. And that to me is the most important thing, is just, we want to double our money quick. I'm not going to sit on this Kyler Murray long term, I don't believe. I like Kyler Murray, but I'm not in love with Kyler Murray. So I'm going to sell this one pretty quick and just try to turn my money over on it. And then another guy that's selling very inexpensive right now, which we all know why, because Saquon Barkley has been injured, right?
Yeah.
But I picked up 3 of these for 100. It's like 30 bucks a piece.
Yeah.
I figure I can't lose. And if this guy comes back and has a killer year like he did his rookie year, I mean, tell me those don't go to at least a couple hundred, right?
If you can come back and play decent, like those will, like you said, you'll be able to double your money on those.
Yeah, I love the buy low candidates. Now, this one I might sit on for a while. I picked up some Zion 9s in the NBA Hoops product. I think I paid $50 a piece for them. They were so cheap. And I know it's partially because NBA Hoops isn't as desirable, but as his Prism product and the other product, just, I mean, the Prisms are like $1,200 now.
Yeah.
In a 10. Obviously, the 9s are a little bit less money, but they're just getting to where the average consumer can't buy them. But I was able to get, I think, 3 of these for $150. So I'm in them like $50 a piece. And I figure Zion makes the playoffs. They're probably worth 100 during playoff time. But I'll probably sit on it for a little while. I think Zion's got big upside long term.
Yeah, those cards are tough, because I mean, if you look at any of the forums that we're in, the Facebook groups, stuff like that, people have only bad things to say about the Hoops products, which is weird because, like you said, once Prism starts getting unattainable for the average consumer, they have to go somewhere to buy the nice graded cards, and Hoops is the next one right there.
And you got to understand, like a hobby box of Prism at this point, basketball is $3,000 or $4,000. It's ridiculous. Like even Hoops is up to about $700-800. And I know that's largely because people are chasing case hits, right? They're trying to get those case hits that are worth a few $1,000s, and so they're willing to pay up because, I mean, you're going to get the value out of it. I think the biggest detriment of Hoops is actually the cards get worn very easily. It's a very cheap product. Yeah. So if you can get stuff where people have already graded it cheap, I think it's got pretty good value. I mean, I just think people are selling too low on these because, again, as the values start going up. But anyway, I got some De'Aaron Fox. I'm not sure where you stand on De'Aaron Fox, but I think he's an undervalued player. And a lot of the stuff that I watch, they talk about the fact that he's undervalued, but I'm here in Sacramento. So easy flip for me because there are a lot of De'Aaron Fox fans around here. So
local market, you got to use it.
Local market, man. And then I picked up a couple of these pretty cheap. I'm in these. I think I got 4 of them for $50 each. Again, the Donruss product is way better than people give it credit for. The rated rookie, super desirable. I know I love rated rookies. I know a lot of other people do as well.
Yeah, but even again, in the football products too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, just make the playoffs. Come on, Ja. Grizzlies make the playoffs, and your card's going to go up in value for whatever reason. The playoffs and in basketball, these cards do really, really well. But this right here, you know who that guy is?
Oh man, the old school
Mark McGuire.
Well, so I won't mention the bad side of the steroids, but
yeah. Well, this is from like his double or triple A team.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
It's an awesome looking card too.
Yeah, it's actually in surprisingly good shape. It came in as a PSA 9, but I picked up like 5 of these for $120 a piece, already slabbed. So again, local market, right? So I think I can flip these one by one for $40-50 pretty easily. But I don't know, just kind of a cool card to have. And if it does well, great. If it doesn't, I don't know. That's kind of just a piece of nostalgia for me. So yeah, if I lose on that one,
what was the other jaw card you got in the out of the box break?
Oh yeah, I got they actually pulled. So just for fun, I've been in some box breaks. I'm going to make a video on this one too, because I've been doing some breaks. They're fun. It's an inexpensive way to keep yourself in the hobby. I think I spent $40 maybe, something like that, and I got into a box break, and it was a random pull. That's what it was. It was $50. I got 2 pulls, In the first pull, I got some random cards, which turns out probably worth close to the $25. So I kind of broke even on what the value would be. But in the second pull, it was the Donruss Optic see-through, the acetate cards. And it ended up pulling like a Ja Morant, a Kevin Durant, and I got another rookie. I can't remember who it is off the top of my head, but somehow I got 3 cards, and the Ja itself was worth, I think $45. Somebody's already offered me on it who saw the video. So I already got hit up. So once it gets here, I'm going to look at it, decide if it's worth grading. I didn't quite look up what. Let me take a quick peek here. I'm going to give you guys the monitor here. So it was a Ja. Donruss Optic.
It's a good looking card too. I didn't think I'd like it that much.
Super cool card. And I'm trying to remember the name of that product. It was the acetate card, so I'll just write acetate next to this.
Yeah, let me try and look it up for you too.
Yeah, so it was a pack of clearly Donruss.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can see here, there's one going for 364. But just so you guys know out there, if you're looking for comps, just come down here to sold, click sold, and then look at your dates, and you can see that this is a recently sold one, but that's not the card. The card is this card right here. No, sorry, it's not the rookies. It was a rated rookie. So we'll scroll down just a little bit. But there was one that was selling for 350. So yeah, so it's this card right here. I don't like this. I wish they would show what the accepted offer was. I know there's websites that do that, but we'll just scroll down a little more.
Yeah, I don't know. eBay's tough with that. And I don't know why they haven't changed their policy on that. It would, I don't know. It would really help the market even out when it comes to people overpricing things like that.
Well, this is one that's a short print going for 360. Yeah, see, that's the card right there.
Yeah, for
person's
950.
asking 950. They're not. I don't think they're gonna get 950 for that. But the point is, I mean, look at that 1290.
I don't think it's $1,000 card though either.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's $1,000 card, but it could be a $500 card.
I'd give you 500. Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, if the card's super sharp, I genuinely might just go ahead and send it to HGA. So this is HGA here. Basically, the whole thing they're hanging their hat on is we will get your cards back to you in a reasonable amount of time. If we say 10 days, we're going to do it in 10 days. I've watched a few videos and guys genuinely are getting their cards back in 8 to 9 days. But here's the tough part. Log in between 8:45 and 9 p.m. Eastern to enter the waiting room. And then maybe you can get your cards in depending on how many you have and how many slots they have. So
do you know the prices on? They have a pricing thing on there?
Yeah, so they put their pricing right here. So your fastest is $100 per card, 2 business days. That's tough. I guess if you have a card you really need to get done, then go for it. But $100 for a card, I mean, that card's got to be worth a good chunk of money.
Yeah.
Very fast, 10 business days. And this is what I've seen a lot of the guys testing just to see how good it is. But for me, I'll be honest, I'm a cheapskate. I'm going to pay that $20 per card. I don't care about waiting 2 months. That's not a big problem for me. If you time it right, you know, the playoffs are coming up. Perfect. When did the playoffs start? 2 months out. Make sure you have your cards in before 2 months out so you can get those. Same with the football cards. Right now is a great time to take your time. And then 60 days out, make a decision if you're going to go with them and just get those cards in.
Season starts.
Yeah, exactly.
What do those slabs look like from HGA?
Let's see. I don't think they do a good enough job on here to show off because they have like the why us, you know, the big thing with the different companies is people like cool looking slabs, right? Looks like they're out of Tennessee.
Yeah, I think I'm biased towards PSA just because it's a classic color scheme. I enjoy just the classic red and white.
Right.
And then, but
Yeah.
then there's other people who are super into like CGC, which is like the blue and white. I guess it's like all preference, but and then there's Beckett, who the infamous the black label, if you can ever get one.
Bro. I think it's crazy that in some cases the Beckett black label isn't that much more than a PSA 10. And I just go, man, a Beckett black label's got to be the most expensive card on the market. It just should be. I think it's the most stringent standard. So just trying to see if I can find pricing because I know their pricing is a little bit high. That's crazy. They don't make it easy to find
That's
that.
like a $500,000 card right now in the Pokemon scene. Is that first edition Charizard in a Beckett
Right.
black label? It's selling for almost. It's sitting right around like 480 right now, $480,000.
Yeah, I just looked at her. I saw something come across on social, and it was a black label, Kobe Bryant. So is a perfect 10, obviously with the black label. Just so you guys know what we're talking about, a black label is 10s all the way across, and from Beckett,
Yeah, what
and
is the categories? It's centering, corners.
edges, and then surface.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's a PSA 10, or sorry, BGS 10. I get the PSA thing. PSA is like, they're going to screw that up. They don't get that when people stop saying PSA, we're going to forget about them slowly. But it's a BGS 10 with a Kobe Bryant rookie card. The top's chrome. And the card is going for 1.06 million so far. Ends tomorrow night. It's on Golden Auctions. It's crazy.
What?
Like, yeah, but
Mind
it's a
blowing.
BGS 10. I'm like, it should be worth more than all the other cards, but dude, a million's that's nuts. But helps the rest of us out in the market because I got a couple tops Kobe's in there. I'd like them to be worth more money when they come back. So you can see the pricing right here. Premium cards, $250 per card, which is substantially less than what you're going to pay over at PSA. PSA's card costs go up into the thousands, what they charge you. And the economy, no subgrades. So this just means that all you get is the grade. You don't get the subgrades for each category, like what we were just talking about, the sides and the corners and the all that. So, but for me, I'm a cheapskate, man. I just don't see the point in paying for those subgrades on these medium low end cards that I've been buying. So let's bump over to HGA. Let's go HGA Slab.
Yeah, I don't know where the market's gonna go when it comes to, like you said, like with the low end cards that we're flipping, like my Josh Jacobs, like I got my cards into PSA before the price change.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like the low end cards that I put in there are going to be fine. Like it's worth it to wait the
Sure.
however long it's going to take me in the economy.
Yeah. 12 to 15 bucks. It was a reasonable price. Yeah.
But I don't know where are people still going to go to PSA even if they have the low end cards to try and flip them through there, or are they going to go somewhere else like you said, the HGA, and get the quicker return?
Well, and that's a part of it, right? Is like I actually think that at the type of pricing that we're looking at, the odds of seeing a CEH card get graded goes down substantially because you're like, well, it's a running back. It's not really going to be worth a ton, even if CEH ends up being a great player. Like, what's the card really going to be worth? $50? Okay, well, I opened a pack or bought the card or however I got it, so I probably own it for $5. I could sell it for $5, right? Because it's a rookie who's on the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are always been hot for the last 3 or 4 years or whatever. But are you going to pay $25 and wait 6 months to get it graded? At best case scenario, like right now, it's more than 6 months. They're looking at 8 to 12. But are you going to wait that long to get it graded to maybe get $50? Or are you going to send it to HGA to have the same scenario? You pay $25, get it graded, have it back in 60 days to maybe sell it for $50? Like, I don't know. I think the risk isn't worth the reward on those cards. So in a future episode, I think we should definitely talk about where the big opportunities are, because I do not think the opportunities are going to be in these low end cards like I originally did. And you did. We went out and bought a lot of low end cards and we sent them in to get graded.
Yeah.
It's just less interesting.
I wouldn't even say less interesting anymore. It's more of like we would be making money on it. It just wouldn't be
Right.
worth the time.
Yeah, that's what I mean, is I'm not going to do a bunch of work just to break even or barely make any money. So here's what the Hga slab looks like. And you have two options from what I understand. Again, I haven't done it. I'll make a video and I'm going to send some cards in because I do want to see what it's like. And to be honest, see if I can turn money faster, because, we've talked a little bit about the velocity of money, and the quicker I can send my $100 out and have it become 200 and come back to me, the quicker I can send that 200 out and make it 400. So I need to get it out quicker. The whole 8-month thing is fine, but if we can do it quicker, great. So the two slab options are jersey match or team match, or you can do card match. And so you can see that this card, it kind of matches the whole North Carolina vibe. So that's what they gave him. And then you can see that this one is a jersey match, right? Although that's kind of a color match too. So this is somebody kind of showing the differences between the traditional PSA, which, I think you and I both love, right? A PSA.
It's hard.
Dude, they're still top of the market. Listen, a PSA isn't much better than a Beckett 9.5, but the PSA sells for 30-40% more money. So we all trust that PSAs are going to sell well. I don't know that PSA is the best company. I'm not saying that, but they are the most adopted. But you see this one here, you can see that it's team match, right? Purple and gold. So you get the purple and then the gold splash.
Yeah, I think the PSA cards, I think they sell well when it comes to I think we talked about it a little bit earlier. Like when it comes to more of the higher end card collectors, they trust the BGS brand. But
Sure.
A lot of people who are just getting into the hobby, I've only heard of PSA. So they trust buying that a little more than the BGS brand.
Yeah, and I think there's some concerns around, did PSA make a mistake, right? I know that they've been impacted and they've had people complaining, and it's been some of their better, maybe they're people who do business with them all the time or whatever. But by raising the prices, they may have driven out some of their low end market.
Yeah.
Right. Because guys like me, I have almost like 600, right around 600 cards in with them in 2 months. So, I'm not the guy who's sending 2,000 or 3,000 cards, but I sent a good chunk of cards in with them. And obviously, if I could get them back faster, I would have turned that over a couple times with them. But at $20, I'm going to send less cards in, right? Like you're going to be more stringent. And the card that you're like, well, this might get a 9. Dude, if you really think that the best you can get is a 9, you're probably not sending that card in.
Yeah.
And I saw a video, and maybe we should share that at some point. But the video of the owner, the guy who came in and invested in PSA, and he said, it's hard for people to hear sometimes, but not every card should be graded. And I go, that's a weird stance for somebody to take who gets paid to put cards into plastic, right?
Yeah.
If I'm in the business of putting cards into plastic, I want to put every card into plastic, right? But for whatever reason, I think they think they're like maybe better than that or something. But if somebody wants to pay to have a card that's been bent in half and burnt on one corner, put into plastic and get a 1 on it, let them pay. You know what I mean? McDonald's doesn't go, no, we do not serve burgers with fries on it. You have to get the fries on the side. They go, listen, do whatever you want. Just pay me the money and move on.
Exactly.
So it's a weird thing, but it's going to be interesting to see what the market does. But I just hope that PSA doesn't get too big for their britches, because people being able to send in a card has a value of less than 200 and have it graded for, $14 or $12 or $10 or even $9 when they have some of their promotions. I think you don't want to lose that market. I also think that market is the same market that Panini is losing as well, because they're just not selling products that kids can get their hands on.
Yeah.
I genuinely feel bad. I was talking with you earlier, and I've been buying up like any product that I can get my hands on, and I've been getting a little bit lucky with kind of some Topps baseball product on occasion. And I'll be honest, guys, like I don't have the money that I'm going to go dump $2,000 or $3,000 on a hobby box, but I will go spend $40 on, like a blaster or whatever. But I kind of feel bad because there's a bunch of guys like me that on their way into work or wherever. I mean, there's 3 guys I seriously see every week, bro. And we say, what's up? And they're like, hey, did you find anything? I'm like, no, there's nothing this week. Or I say, yeah, they got this. And so I'm actually getting to know a couple guys, which is kind of funny. But dude, kids can't get there at 8 a.m. And so are we driving the next generation out of the market, kind of the way golf did in the 70s and 80s? And then they figured out, like, Tiger Woods came in, golf figured out that they should do promotions for younger golfers, because otherwise, I mean, who's going to do business with you in 20 years?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's an interesting time for sure. And I mean, your guess is as good as mine for where this ends up going.
Well, I think I didn't even know about that statement from, it makes sense though. He comes from that like private equity and VC fund,
Right.
kind of Silicon Valley world. That's where he had his roots in. So it makes sense for him to kind of have that mentality. But at the end of the day, it doesn't make sense on like you said, who are you to tell someone that they shouldn't have their card graded for that? I know plenty of collectors that I've seen online that they collect certain things that are graded because it comes with a special OC designation, off-centered, from PSA. Like there's creators or there's guys who just collect those just because it has that. So who are you to tell me I can't grade a 1 or a PSA 2?
Right. Or like, listen, like everybody collects for different reasons. Me, I went out and bought this Johnny Manziel, and I've had a couple people make fun of me. One of my buddies actually said, is that as a joke? I think that might've been you. Anyway, I've also gotten made fun of by other people, but listen, I'm a Vikings fan, huge Vikings fan. The Vikings fans were begging for us to get this dipshit. Begging. I had friends from Minnesota messaging me, oh my God, Johnny Manziel might fall to us. And I like to look at this card and go, gosh, dang it, that was a great miss by the Vikings. We could have had this bum up in Minnesota, but we didn't. And I'll tell you this, before they jumped the prices up, I bought this right before they jumped the prices up. I was going to get this reslab by PSA. I wanted to see this as a PSA 10 because I thought it was going to be awesome. This thing will be in every stream, every unboxing. And when anybody asks, I go, he gets the bad juju away from the Vikings. That's it. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, nobody wanted him. The best team to get him got him, which was the Browns, because they stink. And if you're a Browns fan, hit me up in the comments section down below, dude. I got you.
There's true hate in your heart right there. I can feel it.
Man, there's a few teams in the NFL I genuinely just go, listen, you're going to do something wrong. I'm just going to wait here until it happens. I mean, listen, the Browns won a Super Bowl. They just were called the Ravens and they played in Baltimore. So, I mean, and listen, hey, take your shots, boys. Take your shots in the comments down below. Yes, I am a Vikings fan. No, we have never won a Super Bowl. But if you're a Browns fan, you still suck. I don't know what to tell you, right? Like, it is what it is. If you're an Eagles fan, shots fired. You guys couldn't win with your starter. You got to win with a backup, and you guys will never win again. It's a terrible team. Fans are terrible. It's terrible.
Man.
And now we're out here in California where we live. You're down in LA. I'm up here in Sacramento, and our teams are terrible. The 49ers are a quarterback away from a Super Bowl. If they could just get a quarterback who didn't suck. I will say this, dude. I might come down and go to a Rams game with you if it opens up, because I am super pumped to see what Matt Stafford does, because he used to play for a pit hole, like where people's careers go to die. Detroit. Yes. Come to Detroit.
I'm a huge Stafford fan, so
dude,
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Stadium should be opened up at some point, from what I'm hearing.
Bro, you snag some tickets. I'm in my car on my way down. It's about 6.5 hours. I'll make it.
I'm gonna snag 4 on the 50-yard line. Boys better be there.
There you go. All right. Well, hey, thank you guys for tuning into this episode. If you guys have comments, questions, concerns, things that you guys want to talk about or you want to see us talk about in future episodes, we also are pretty excited. We've got other people making videos, so we'll have a bunch of different content on here, all about sports, cards, and hopefully investing in the hobby.
Man, again, thank you guys very much for tuning in. It's always a pleasure. Like Josh said, we're going to have tons of fun stuff coming out for you guys, tons of new content, how to get into it. And above all, these box breaks are going to be a lot of fun we have planned for you guys this summer. Can't wait to see you guys on the other side.
All right, boys.